In this video, we're going to be working with the animation tree and migrating all of our animations strictly from using the if-else statements from the animation player, and we're going to be using the animation tree. So this assumes you already have 8 standard animations set up for your character. We have 4 idles and 4 walks in every direction. Our current script is currently handling this in some of these if and else statements. So to get started, we need to add a animation tree node to our player. And this is where we're going to be handling all of the animation states and the animation blending between when we're going from left to up or down to right. So what we have to do is click into our animation tree, and we need to actually assign our animation player to this animation tree, which is why it's important that you still have the animation player. So click into the assign, this over, click into the assign, and assign your animation player to it. And then what we're going to do is go into the tree root, and we're going to select a new animation node state machine. Now you can see down here, when we click into the animation tree, in this tab down here, we have a setup for us to start actually using this animation tree. Now that we have this basic animation tree set up, what we need to do is we need to create 2 new nodes. So we're going to be creating a blend space 2D twice, one of which is going to be our idle. Is going to handle our idle animations, and the other is going to handle our walk animations. So let's go in and handle those real quickly. In idle, what we're going to do is we need to add some new points. Let's make this a little bigger. So you want to select this one up here, and on the left you click, we want to do idle left. On the right side, we want to do idle right. The y-axis is a little bit different since Godot has the negative Y handling going kind of on the north-south. Up at the top, we want to do our walk down, and then at the bottom, our idle down. And then at the bottom, we want to do our idle up. So let me fix that one real quick here. So this will be idle down. Then we have to go and repeat that process for the walk. So we're going to have walk down, walk up, walk left, and walk right. There's a couple other things we have to do to set this up. We actually have to connect these nodes. So we're going to have a transition between walk and idle and walk, and we want to start to idle. We need to update a couple of things in here. So this idle to walk, we need to go into the advanced property over here, and we want to do an is moving condition. And then from walk to idle, we want to go into advance, and we want to do not moving. You'll see how these come into play shortly. In here, we want this to be auto and switch to be immediate. So let's close the animation tree now. Now we can actually get to modifying the code. So we no longer need these 2 onReady variables because we're strictly going to be using our animation tree. And we can also get rid of this move method right here. We're going to completely remove this as well, but we want to keep move and slide. And above move and slide, we need to change the velocity. So we're going to set that equal to our movement direction times our move speed. And down here is where we can actually start to use our animation tree. So we need to update the animation states. So we need to check if our movement direction isn't at vector 2.0. Then we want to tap into our animation tree. And so let's click this, lower that. And over here, you're going to have these parameters. And we want to make sure that we're tapping in to this is moving and not moving parameters. So we can put square braces here. And for is moving, you can just click and drag it and drop it. Make sure it's in square brackets. And we're going to set this one to true. And then we're going to do the same thing for not moving. And we're going to set that to false. And then in our else, it's going to just be the opposite of these. And then we also need to modify outside of this if else. We are going to modify our animation trees blend positions for both our idle and walk. So you can do the same thing over here. Just drag and drop this blend position. We're going to set it to our movement direction. And then we need to do the same thing for our walk. And the last thing we have to do is we're just going to make the ready method and just ensure that our animation tree is set, its active status is set to true. In the animation tree, we want to edit the idle and walks blend mode to be discrete. Continuous is used more for 3D games, so if you're making 3D, you can use continuous, but for our purposes in here, we want to be using discrete. And now when we go back and play this, we'll have smooth animations exactly how we would want it. And then this can be expanded on to be used in your own state machine, or if you want to add attacking states, you can definitely do that.